Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Show us, Lord, your love and grant us your salvation. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. When Jesus had come into the temple area, the chief priests and the elders of the people approached him as he was teaching and said, "By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority?" Jesus said to them in reply, "I shall ask you one question, and if you answer it for me, then I shall tell you by what authority I do these things. Where was John's baptism from? Was it of heavenly or human origin?" They discussed this among themselves and said, "If we say of heavenly origin, he will say to us, 'Then why did you not believe him?' But if we say of human origin, we fear the crowd, for they all regard John as a prophet." So they said to Jesus in reply, "We do not know." He himself said to them, "Neither shall I tell you by what authority I do these things." The Gospel of the Lord. So Balaam is really prophesying about the blessing that is going to come upon the nation of Israel. And the validity of a true prophet is always one because he carries the message that what he prophesies comes true. And so Jesus comes upon the scene because he is the blessing of Israel. Jesus is this promised blessing that is going to come upon Israel. And so as he enters the temple area and he begins to teach, he's teaching these eternal truths. He's teaching about what it is that God is doing through him. And for all who can accept it, blessing comes upon them. But the problem with the Pharisees is that they see what's happening. Because Jesus is a teacher unlike any other teacher. He doesn't teach theology. He doesn't preach theology. He tells stories about the kingdom. That's why he's so effective. And they're drawn. They hang on every word that he has, and they're drawn to him. And the Pharisees see that as the people are being drawn to him, they are receding from them. And so in their frustration, in their fear, in their anxiety, and all that stuff that enters into it, comes the question, by what authority are you doing these things? Most especially in the temple. And so Jesus, knowing their hearts, knowing that they're not seeking to understand how it is, okay, and where this information is coming from, these eternal truths that are being proclaimed, he knows they're trying to trip him up. So he says, well, I'll ask you a question too. And if you can answer my question, it's going to tell me whether or not you will accept my answer by how we do these things. And so the Pharisees are not foolish. They're learned men. And so they reason within themselves, if we say that John's baptism was from above, he's going to say to us, then why didn't you listen? Why didn't you follow him? But if we say it's from human origin, they know how the people feel about John the Baptist. And so to play it safe, like they normally do, like a lot of us do, to play it safe, that, well, we don't know. And that's the answer, okay? For Jesus, that no matter what he says, it's not going to be accepted. It's not going to be accepted. So why waste my breath? You cannot convince somebody who is unconvinced. You can't. Jesus didn't come to change my mind. He came to change my heart.